So I'm curious. We're going to talk about schooling, right?
Um, I don't know. What are we discussing?
It says schools. Did you want to start talking about school?
Oh, it's working in education. Okay. Oh, sure. Um, well, I've worked in schools for the last um 3 years, 4 years. It's really been a blur. Uh, uh,
Working as what?
so for the last 2 years, I was working in like an elementary school, and I taught social skills to kindergartners, first graders, and second graders. And that was kind of challenging. It was really fun. Um, they're really cute at that age, um, and
Kindergarten? That must be challenging.
yeah, yeah.
Chasing them around.
Sometimes, yeah, and sometimes you have to stop them from chasing each other. Um, that part's pretty challenging. Just teaching them that they can't just run around and like attack each other. Teaching them about those consequences.
Right. I work with high schoolers, and a lot of the children live far, and they stay in dorms for at the school. So I've
Mm-hmm.
worked with them for about 25 years.
Wow. What so are you I worked in dorms for 3 years when I was in school. I was an RA. Um what what's your role? Are you like organizing things? Are you organizing events? Are you like I don't know, like what what sort of things are you doing?
Well, I did work as an RA for about 3 years at Gallaudet, and it was my responsibility to provide workshops and invite speakers to come, uh, setting up event meetings, different celebrations like birthdays, different things like that. And um, in high school, I was in charge of about 100 kids in those dorms.
Oh man. That sounds like an experience. I'm just thinking about my experience as like an RA and thinking about like what sort of things my supervisor was doing. And I'm just thinking about like my experience working with like high schoolers, and you take all of those, especially high school students, and you like put them in like an area. Man, that sounds that sounds like a lot of energy on like a day-to-day basis.
Kids are definitely more active at night. They're upset with their relationships or their problems, and you have to make sure you have time for homework and their schedules get really messed up, and you really have to teach them time management. You have to learn how to hold on to those, and thinking about ways to fix things that happened and the problems that come up. And how to, and that the problems are going to eventually go away on their own, and you have to lead them and show them how to take turns, and not just speaking. And sometimes you have to use something to give them to hold, like to signify that it's their turn, and it helped them to solve their problems smoother before they go to sleep.
Do you guys have to do rounds at night?
Yes, it's the same in college. You have to check and make sure that, you know, the kids aren't smoking, or you can't smell anything, or they're not drinking. And you have to check all the floors and make sure everything's under control. In the dorms, you also check to make sure everything's appropriate and there's no PDA. And there's another thing, that the staff is watching, and that the whole place is covered and there's enough people watching the group.
So, yeah.
College and high school, they're very different. They have different communication skills.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, it sounds like you're working with like freshmen in high school through like seniors in high school, is that right?
No, only sophomores and seniors. Sophomores, juniors, and seniors. I'm comfortable with different ages, like younger kids who stay in the dorms and high school students. High school students have different floors, you know, for 8th and 9th grade. They're on a different floor in the dorm. And the second and third, they're on the first floor. And the second and third floors would be the students that are older.
That's cool. That sounds like a chaotic but very fun environment to be in.
You know, you can go to the area in the deaf school and like visit.
Really? See. I didn't know. I haven't heard about it before.
And you can go and visit and get the idea about how they live and the area.
Oh, that's really cool. That sounds really cool. I've driven by one like around Portland, like a little north of Portland. Yeah, I guess like, you know, I guess I like didn't really think much about like, oh, like what sort of living situations do they have? Does everyone commute? Does like everyone live there? Are deaf schools for the most part, are they usually residential?
No, not really. Some come to the deaf school and they commute, and some are day students and they live in within 20 miles of the school, and those ones must go home at the end of the day. But if the student doesn't live within 20 miles around the school, they have to stay in the dorms.
Gotcha. That's cool. That sounds pretty cool.
Some kids are really busy with different sports. They have like football, basketball, volleyball, track, tennis, a lot of different sports. And they have some clubs also, like a robotics club. They have a chess club. It's really fun. They get to go out into the community and it keeps them busy. And it gives them a better experience to face the hearing community, because once they graduate, they have to figure out how to deal with hearing people out in the community.
Yeah, there are a lot of social skills that I can think of just like based around those different sports and activities, like how to win, how to lose, but also like how to like communicate with your teammates, how to work together to like accomplish a common goal. Yeah, totally.
Yes. You know, I am curious. You go to school and you study, what do you study?
I studied psychology, and I got some other minors and things that I don't really care about anymore. But I'm going back to grad school to study more psychology. And it'll be great because it'll be, I'm studying school psychology.
You want to study in schools, like high school, elementary, middle school, college?
Yeah, it sounds like, well, it'll be kind of cool for me because it seems like school psychologists in different school districts, like that role looks different depending on like what the district or school requires. For some school districts, it sounds like the school psychologist does a lot of testing on students. In other schools, school psychologists focus more on like teaching services to students. So that in like some ways looks more like a social worker.
Psychology is very difficult because you have a person, who's maybe growing up a little bit different, and I think that people think that I'm deaf and I'm special needs, but because of different tests, like the SAT, so people would tell me different things, and I would know how to fill out the papers, the test, and then I would give it back, and then they would tell me that I was, disabled, and that it's not for me. And so it was really hard to communicate when I did go. I wouldn't show up to classes, and I would just sit and I would refuse. I was very rebellious. When I went to the Deaf Institute in Washington, D.C., at the time I lived in Georgia, but then I would fly back and forth and I was fine. I was normal, and my mother asked me, why were you having problems at the school? The tests at the hearing school were a bad measurement of who I was and the questions that they used, and so I wasn't going to deal with that. I didn't like dealing with it. It was terrible.
Yeah, it sounds like this is kind of related.
My niece wanted to be a psychologist, and I told her that was fine. Make sure that you have a good relationship with others. You know, drawing a line and separating yourself.
Yeah, that's definitely the key to education. Just like building those relationships, developing them, just so that you can like work together to help each other with what you need to do.
And that was a long time ago in the 1970s also. So now I'm sure it's better and better relationships, better ways of approaching, but back then, you know, it was not great.
Yeah. Times have definitely changed a lot. Thank God.
You know, I am curious, how long does it take to study? A year, 2 years?
It's a 3-year program. So for the first 2 years, I'll be doing a lot of learning a lot of like the coursework, and then in my 3rd year, I'll be working in a school. And I'll be doing that. That'll be like the extent of my work.
Is it an internship?
Yeah. I think it's called practicum for us, but I mean it's like the same thing. It's like the same function. Yeah.